It gives them a save, something that, you know, we saw PSG.LGD pick Shadow Demon to take away from OG potentially, so having a save and a second save with the Chen heals as well gives them a lot of ways to keep this Alk alive.
Also, this OG timing push at 20-25 minutes, he walks up high ground and he's just gonna get 100 attack speed.
Last pick, Slark. Ame Slark. He brought this one back into the meta if you go back to Epicenter, and this is a pick against a lot of melee cores. This is Theorycraft is one of the better cores run against Alchemist. You guys like the last pick, Slark?
I think if they put it mid, I think it's pretty good. It lanes well against the Legion Commander. It's one of the few heroes that can kind of trade with it. And I think if they do that, Ame's going to get off to a start. He's probably going to be able to carry the game.
I think, yeah, in the late game, it's going to outcarry the Alchemist. So, but the question, of course, every time is if they can get to the late game.
Well, we're going to have to find out if they can hold, because Alchemist with Chen hits that scary timing. We've seen OG. They just ran over them in that game too. Do you think they're going to get to the late game?
There's a lot of hero from OG. The LCW, what is it called?
The press the attack.
Press the attack hero, the Chen hero, the Chen aura, Alchemist ulti hero. There's a lot of hero.
All right, well, we've got Casey on stage to hear some final thoughts from one of the coaches before we get into our Game 3 decider.
That's right, we're asking 357, and Josh is going to help us translate. A lot of us were surprised that you didn't choose to ban the Alchemist after it was such a huge part of OG's win. Can you give us a little bit of insight to that?
就是这一把我看到你们还是把炼金放出来，然后第二把其实炼金发挥了很大的作用，那就是请问你对这个是什么想法？
我们觉得第一把就是在炼金的处理上，策略有点失误，然后没搞好，让他太肥了。然后这把我们就是放他进，还是就是按我们的既定策略去打。
So in game 2, we kind of just our tactics didn't work out. We kind of made a mistake in that sense. We let Alchemist get too fat. This game we let him through anyway, but we're gonna try and improve on the tactics with regards to Alchemist.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Back to you guys.
And sure enough, we go the full series. Game 3 between OG and LGD with a twist. Everybody expected the Alchemist to be taken out of the pool, and I'm not sure if anybody expected a Thompson Tidehunter? Oh, it seems like OG's bringing something different that we haven't seen yet, Blitz.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is essentially just give a hero that can frontline, run in for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You're a space maker and a playmaker at the same time. I think it's just good overall. I think the idea too behind the LC is similar to what they had with the Darkseer. Just a hero to buff up the Alp. You know where your bread is buttered.
Yeah. And as they were talking about, the press the attack is going to be a form of heal as well. That is going to be amped up by the Chen.
Yeah, I will say I think the Slark is a much better core than the Sven to deal with this. The idea that LGD had was, we need a hero to deal with the creeps. No, you need a hero to deal with the Alchemist.
And I feel like Tiny is like the biggest and best change to LGD's lineup to deal with this Alchemist. Seems like DK was too slow, especially when it came to taking that mid tower. The fight over the bounties begins in OG.
I want to know how many games Ame, or maybe has been completely blanked out. Involved in no kills at all.
Oh, look at that. X-Nova made that read perfectly. They were planning that Enem was going to take the other bounty rune. He was going to be teleported down to bottom. And now he's going to have to use his TP scroll, and PSG.LGD managed to get 3 of the 4.
Nice hard read as Chalice going to block up the creep wave. I think my favorite change to this is making FY play the Shadow Demon instead of a hero like Jakiro. I just don't love Jakiro as a 4 position. I feel like it's very limited what you can do with that hero. FY is your Ferrari. Let him roar.
Oh, this guy has no chill. And you've got a lot of play potential, and you want this Shadow Demon to be strong against an Alchemist, right? Like, part of the way of dealing with Alchemist is heavy burst damage, and Soul Catcher gives any sort of burst damage you have, it makes it look that much better. A tiny combo plus the Soul Catcher, I'm not sure what hero doesn't die of that.
Yeah, plus the Earth Splitter, of course. Percentage-based things being very nice against the Alchemist. But who knows? Maybe it's just going to be a little bit too strong for them, as last game was so one-sided. I personally think that the combo is way too good, and PSG.LGD, they're banking on the fact that they knew it was coming and they had an answer for it.
They did say in that interview with 357 that they were going to be pressuring the Alchemist a lot more. We see that already with FY just getting stack after stack. X-Nova doing what No Tail was trying to do so well in game 1 with this Elder Titan, just push back the other two opposing members of this dual lane and give Ame the space he needs.
Yeah, but he's already so low. He's got to be careful for the time being. Seb, once again, having pretty good lane. He's going to fight up against Ame. Doesn't seem to care too much. But now that X-Nova's here, he's got to be a little bit more cautious.
It is a pretty cool idea, right? Is that like Tidehunter and the Alchemist are very well countered by the Slark. It's just a terrible lane for Tidehunter. So being able to get the hard counter of Legion Commander against that Slark instead and swapping Thompson over the mid lane.
Do you feel like it's a hard counter? I think when there's
Legion Commander against Slark, I think it's relatively okay.
I think when there's a save, it's really hard. Top lane, X-Nova getting quite low. The dupe from Seb. Right click from Jerax. Will finish this off as Ame has to back out, reset himself, leaps away over the tree line. First blood going to OG.
It's a good start. In that aggro dual lane. Our mid lane, 12-2 for Thompson. Is Somnus struggling a little bit with CS, but a wave is pushing into him. And he also has an Arcane Rune in his bottle. The lane pushing out into the favor of the Shadow Demon and Sand King, which means there's going to be some neutral lane shenanigans. We'll see how FY tries to deal with this, but at top lane, the Stomp goes out, does manage to hit at least the Rubik. Jerax is going to be quite low. Can he finish him off? X-Nova gets him in the end. Seb will return fire and bring down X-Nova.
Support for support.
Almost too bad.
Bottom lane, Sand King having a very nice time of things. NS Farm hasn't been slowed down either. Courier almost goes down. One more hit would have done it for FY.
Boy, Thompson's just fearless here. Maybe he's going to try and put some pressure on him. Does manage to get the toss on the
and a solo kill.
And a solo kill like that. You know, I thought Thompson knew better, but sure enough, he was way too low.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Thompson is it does feel like he dies the most out of any of the top mid laners.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care too much. In fact, I don't even know if this guy cares about deaths, farm. It just feels like he cares about getting into the enemy jungle, forcing you out, and being this frontliner for Ana. But that'll be a costly death, as maybe had such a slow start. He's already eclipsed his kill mark total from the previous game.
Seb laying down the spray when he gets pounced, while Ame in turn covers up that spray with one of his own from Vici Gaming.
Meta. You see, maybe he gave the late tip to Thompson.
Ame trying to get out of here, does have the pounce range. They're trying to block him in with Seb, but he actually juked the wrong direction. Somnus with this double damage.
Completely gonna zone out this Tidehunter. Thompson does not want to be here for the time being. A creep even just running through the area just to give one more last hit to Somnus.
Stomp goes out. Seb, big nuke that's going to force the pounce away, and X-Nova may not be able to win this man fight, especially when we press the attack activated on Seb. With the level 4, it means he does have that passive to be able to bring down X-Nova. If he can get into the trees, maybe the Stomp, no.
Ame's just going for the bounty runes against the Alchemist is so important. Jerax is going to try to race him against these, but doesn't have lift, so he will not get here in time. Neither of them have boots, but Ame is in a much better position to pick up this rune, and it looks like PSG.LGD will get away with 3 of them.
Yeah, that is makes the best of that situation. That's all 4. It's only 240 gold being collected for the OG side off of the bounties.
And they're going to wait for this bottom lane. Nobody wants to pick it up quite yet.
Funny part is, because they have an Alchemist, OG net worth lead is even, despite that big bounty rune advantage that PSG.LGD has. Chalice is doing so well. 33-6, 31-6 for Somnus, who's now looking for the toss over onto the Tidehunter. Into the tier 1 tower. Thompson without Ravage is going to be caught by the Stomp. Body blocked up a little bit by FY. They'll build up the stacks and see if he's going to be the one to claim the last hit. In fact, he will. FY, he wants these last hits. He wants the fast ether lens.
Much better start for all of PSG.LGD this time around. A less greedy lineup too. I don't know if trying to outgreed an Alchemist is ever the play, because the hero doesn't work in the same sense. He's not like a Midas builder. He's just going to get his 10-minute, 12-minute items, win the game for you.
That's why we heard our draft panel talk about how important it was to shore up your mid game, because that's where the Alchemist is going to hit hardest. Once he has that Radiance plus AC.
From the 12 to like 25 minute mark, this guy is king. Nobody will touch this out. You have to be able to ride that out if you're PSG.LGD, and that's why they took the Slark. The Slark is meant to secure the late game, because he's good against all three cores on the side of OG, and neither of the supports do anything against him. So the way this game looks is pretty clear cut. OG have a timing window, once again, where they're going to go down the lanes with their Legion backing up their Alk, so you can't ever get stunned up. Constant purges, the heals, the Tidehunter's going to back him up too. He's going to get a Vlad's. And for PSG.LGD, it's bend, don't break. Take fights. If you lose one or two, that's fine, but you can't afford to give up all your tier 2 towers like you did.
Look at NoTail. He's been one by one sending out his neutral creeps to be able to pull back the wave to stop this push. But finally, he's going to be caught as the Spirit does reveal where he's at, and PSG.LGD will dive with confidence now, especially since they've already brought down at least one of his neutrals. The Hellbear is still pulling some of the creeps, though.
Okay.
And this really is the principle of getting kills into objectives, right? Is that NoTail, he understands the same thing, and he's saying, you can kill me, but if you're not taking the tower, it's fine.
It's on the run. He's pinging towards it. He's laughing about this right now.
The turn comforts of the melee creep is going to get
And
the
he
deny
denies.
on the illusion rune while simultaneously pulling all of this into Ana. So it's not even going to return into the bottom lane. This is some next level shit from OG.
Oh my lord. I can't even believe that. He dragged the entire creep wave so that Ana gets a double wave in mid lane. He saves the bottom tower, maybe wastes his entire time, and he denies the illusion rune.
Dude,
that is the most value single creep that I've seen.
I mean, I think that was the most space-creating, defeating death I've ever seen. NoTail literally bought themselves like, he just killed like 3 minutes of pushing time.
Yeah, he, Pylai Dai is just like in the back. He's like scribbling notes. He's like furiously trying to figure out what he did right there. That gave Ana so much gold, brought him much closer to his Radiance. Didn't have an amazing laning phase, but that's going to help out a lot.
Yeah, it certainly is. But this is where PSG.LGD are going to have a change of tactics. Last time, they tried to go in for the mid push. They tried to take down that tower before and taking over the jungle, but this time, a smoke directly towards Ana. Chalice leading the way with the one level first strike.
Just found mana for ulti.
They're going to be able to get the disruption first. And the epicenter follow up. They're going to throw all the burst damage onto them all at once. Chemical Rage is not going to be good enough here, sir.
By the way, I was wondering why this ward right here that PSG.LGD placed, I was like, why didn't they block the camp with that?
Yeah.
And you realize because OG's going to look for that ward. They know guaranteed that there is vision there, but by placing it up there and not blocking the ward, not blocking the camp, that's so intelligent.
Yeah.
It's going to give Ana a little bit more space, but it's going to open up kills a little bit more. They've got no idea about it.
Also, the combo, the way they set up that kill was just brilliant. It maximized the damage in a minimal amount of time, right? Leading with Disruption to get off Epicenter first rather than trying to go for Burrow Strike into Epicenter where there's this delay of damage. It really killed the effectiveness of Chemical Rage there. Now, PSG.LGD will manage to get another 3 bounties. That's 9 bounties they picked up in this game for 2,400 gold. Excuse me, that's more like 12 or something.
Yeah, that's how they've kept up in this game so far.
Oh, Jerix! No, X-Nova doesn't have a TP.
He'll be stuck here for the time being. He's got to wait for the courier.
Look at him, he's sitting on top of the Spirit and taunting him. Before he's going to TP away, but FY actually catches him. Meanwhile, top lane, Seb's going to be caught, but it's over to mid, where Jerix, you play around in the Spirit, you do a little taunting action, showing off to X-Nova, but in the end, you get caught for it.
And he loses the ward for it too. X-Nova's fine with that.
Yeah, I think he is now, for sure. How's Thompson doing in farm, by the way? He's going to be rushing double bracers into a Vlad. So those bracers are super value for Tidehunter, both because of tankiness as well as making your anchor smash more.
But Ana talked about the pre-12-minute Radiance.
Yeah.
This time around, they've slowed down so much of his farm.
It's not even a 12-minute relic at this pace.
Last game he had it at like 10 minutes and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Have they dewarded it yet? They
to bottom, Seb, who's been holding on to this tower for OG, but now will pay for it with his life. The toss into the pounce from Ame with the Earth Splitter over the top. They really wanted to make sure that Legion Commander died fast, so there wasn't a chance of OG defensively rotating.
and they still haven't lost any towers on the side of PSG.LGD. No trade towards that top lane. It's still quite healthy. And this is going to create even more space for Ame. They can play into the jungle. Jerax is pinging. He thinks that they're going to smoke towards mid, which is why he preemptively places that sentry.
And a minus is almost here for Ame, plus his level 10. This will both help him farm a bit faster. Somnus trying to catch Ana here. Does have the toss back into the creeps. The TP, it's a slow one from FY, so there's no chance of them actually killing this. But it does force a lot of rotation. Zeb is now in the same lane as Ana. Not really the way they want to play things.
No, not until he has Radiance anyways, and he's still working on it right now. And that's why PSG.LGD are going for all these aggressive maneuvers. They know that they've slowed down the timing enough. Thompson isn't really getting involved in fights either. They just want to defend this mid area while he tries to catch up and farm. This is not the typical Thompson game that we see where we see him rotate into the enemy jungle. He's been a lot more farm-centric. It feels like both mid laners have been swap positions. Seb getting gone on at top.
They do have Jerax, though, TPing in. Telekinesis toss back onto X-Nova, and Seb, as he wakes up, he'll see this as an opportunity to get some duel damage.
It's the first duel win for him in this game. But yeah, it feels like whoever has Tiny is playing aggressively, and whoever doesn't just prioritizes the farm. Thompson, we felt his impact in the mid game so often throughout this series alone.
Looks like they don't want to give up this tower. Chalice, he's going to show himself. Chalice with the veil out. Not actually trying to get any extra damage off the epicenter, surprisingly enough. Maybe with FY here, trying to catch somebody with the disruption. Does get him. That's going to be the Chen caught. Chalice ready to go with another round of the Burrow Strike. Even if they don't kill Seb, will get a kill at the top lane. Still, though, I'm sure OG is quite happy with the space created as they took the mid tower.
Ame forcing Thompson out of the jungle right now, who just continues to plug away at his farm. Maybe he's going to go for... Not sure.
The Radiance is here. You know that OG, the last time they picked up this Radiance, they immediately barreled into PSG.LGD.
But the timing was much better last game.
Yeah.
That was almost a full 4 minutes ago that they got it. It just delays up everything. The AC timing that he got, the BKB. So he has to continue to just farm up, and PSG.LGD are in a much better spot. In fact, at this point in the game, I believe they were down 3-4K.
Oh, no! He still managed to get the long-range Burrow Strike onto No-Tail, but that is a maxed-out Prestige tag. Still not good enough to be able to save No-Tail. Now the duel onto Chalice with the Ravage out. Disruption, though. Barely saves in time to get the Earth Splitter over the top, and now Chalice looking to be able to get the kill on the Seb. Maybe more as Thompson. Burst goes down. Toss forward. Chalice, he's going to die. Somnus actually accidentally killing his off-laner. And maybe he may have just got himself killed as well as Ana chasing him down with the Radiance. Somnus is going to need another beautiful toss away. Looking for it.
A little too long, potentially.
But it's going to be too long. The Avalanche is there. The gun slowing down Somnus, and the Radiance will burn him down. No chance for a blink.
And Ana finally decides to participate with his Radiance. He understands that he's the strongest hero in the game. He's got to make his presence known. March his way towards the top lane, and it looked like it was going to be so good from PSG.LGD. They got the disruption on the Sand King. They were fighting under the Sandstorm for so long, but it sort of evens out.
One of the advantages of this Chen is being able to pull people around the map, and we see that with Thompson, who gets TP back to the fountain, is ready to go with the TP somewhere else in the map. If he felt like he wanted to go top, he could have done so.
Yeah, and for the third game in a row, OG is going to take the mid tower first. They prioritized it so heavily in their games.
Oh, Arcane Room going to be left behind, and Ana sees it. Thank you very much. That'll mean some more acid sprays.
Top. Gonna be taken.
They see all these heroes rotating over. PSG.LGD really want to
Seb might
take the
just go
fight,
for the duel
but
here.
Seb is gonna try and get the initiation onto Somnus. They have the unstable concoction, but the rest of PSG.LGD is on their way. There goes the duel, but Chalice is gonna be able to get a two-man row strike. Ame pouncing in as well with the two-man dark pact on top of everything else on top of the Sob, and now they have Seb dead, but Anna is still so tanky. He gave him with his dying breath to press the attack. The level 4 press the attack with so much regeneration means Anna will be able to bring down X-Nova. Now he looks for more, but Chalice, he's just trying to pull the creeps away.
A buyback.
Over to the side, the buyback. Chen is here as well. X-Nova trying to catch him. FY looking for the disruption while Ame taking stacks after stacks, but he waited out the dark.
Ame's gonna die here.
Oh, the Chalice save! Ame trying to get away. The toss over onto the Dundee, but it doesn't matter. Ame lives. Anna dies, and now Thompson's going to be run down underneath the trees as he tries to juke it around, but eventually Somnus going to be able to find him. They have the Burrow Strike there as well. Back over to Ame, who managed to finish off Jarek's top of everything else. 7-14, LGD win a massive fight in the top lane.
And OG, I thought that Ame was dead for sure, but they find the save for him. The follow-up, this is going to be a value shrine. I'd like them to continue to play faster, smoke up, attack that triangle area. You're together here as 5 right now. It looks like they're going to back out, farm through. Ame still in a really comfortable position, about to pick up his Diffusal Blade. Medallion on Chalice.
Feels a little bit like game 1 now, where OG had that net worth lead. But once LGD were finally able to reclaim it, things started snowballing heavily. We'll see if LGD can do that again, or if they're going to play it a little bit more passive this time around, because they do have so many items about to flow in. Ame almost has a Diffusal Blade. They're going to work towards Aghanim Scepter on Somnus, though he needs the full kit still.
And if you're PSG.LGD, you probably want to take a fight. They've got to be a little bit cautious, though. And they did end up going to the triangle area. They just didn't smoke for it. OG, they've got the Ravage. They want to take this fight, too. Both teams feeling like they're stronger than the other.
Where Thompson shows up is all important because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He needs to be able to get on top of PSG.LGD, and he gets on top of X-Nova right away. But there's the disruption. Thompson dodges the stomp. Seth still trying to close the distance, wants to be able to catch X-Nova, but he completed his TP. Anna was done himself. They'll surely know about the vision on the high ground now, but OG did not get the successful smoke gank that they were hoping for.
Yeah, both teams battling it out for position right now. And now it's going to be an immediate run into the Roche pit. Feels like deja vu of game number 1.
Hey, yeah, it's because Somnus TP'd out to the bottom lane. He thought that was space as OG failed to find a kill, but now he has to run all the way across the map.
And it's got a BKB too. They should feel pretty strong here, but they don't do it quite fast enough.
Can PSG.LGD actually take a 5-on-5 against BKB and a pipe with Ravage?
They're looking like it. I don't think you can give this Aegis up for free, because I feel like it's going to be then a repeat of game 2.
If they find an opening like this, it's going to be massive with the Soul Catcher taunt. Again, who can survive against that combo? Certainly not good.
With the pipe, it looked like he was strong enough. You were wrong, friend, and now the crowd coming back alive. Samson, where you at? And they're responding now. Top lane, going to get caught on now.
He's going to use that last bit of life to kill the Observer Ward, and he does manage to pick up the bounty rune. So Thompson grabbing the 3 on the right hand side of the map, but if they can actually kill this Alchemist, it would be huge. He still has BKB, but he doesn't pop it fast enough. He's Pro Shark instead. Anna thought he had more time, but that is a limited resource against PSG.LGD's aggression.
Pickoff after pickoff, they're finding course around the map. You still haven't really felt the impact of this Tidehunter either. 0-3-3. Thompson was so dominant in game number 2.
7-17. Still, LGD holding that slight net worth lead against an Alchemist.
You're not feeling good right now if you're OG. Your Alch Chen combo should be the strongest at this point. You picked up a pipe on Seb. You've got a Vlad's, a Medallion on Thompson. This is almost the exact same situation as last game. They've itemized in a very similar way too, but it just doesn't really feel like they've got the same oomph.
There's so many things that they... I mean, Seb maxed out press the attack first, for example. Him going for the pipe, as you said, is like, they're all showing that they're trying to synergize around making this Alchemist the strongest he can be. And now Seb may just get caught again. Thompson's going to be here, ready to go with the Ravage. Two-man Burrow Strike, the Earth Splitter as well. Beautifully placed. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The Stomp, though, will allow them to retreat.
They're just going to back up as they rightfully should. They don't quite have the mana for this, and it looks like they're just going to walk into Roshan again. I heard Ana, he did pop his ulti. And yep, if you toggle it off,
yep,
it works.
He managed to do it in time, so LGD won't have that easy way.
You just have to spam press it, I believe.
Yeah.
And it takes it off, because he definitely had Radiance turned on when he was under. When he pops out, neither of the illusions did.
Gush, as well as the Medallion.
Oh, this is a nice room for him to pick up the illusion. This is going to scout out for him, stop any blinks. The initiation up from the Sand King as well.
Disruption onto the Illusion Alchemist. Not able to turn that Radiance off. They have vision of that Observer Ward as well, but everyone is a little bit too scared to be that far forward. Jarek showing himself at top, Ana showing himself at bottom. LGD have a little bit more confidence that they control this mid area. The BKB soon for Ame. If OG doesn't take that Roshan soon, I fear they may miss their timing blitz.
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out where they go from here, because once he gets the AC, that's one of the strongest power spikes in the game for this Alchemist.
Yep.
You can get items after that, but the 3-item timing of this Alch is used to be, it's so powerful. That's what they rode last game, and this game it feels like they're still going for the same play. It's just not really there for them. It's harder for them to push into PSG.LGD's lineup. They haven't taken enough tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Thompson, I think, has had the roughest game. We're not really feeling the impact of this Tidehunter. It feels like he's having a similar performance that maybe did. And it doesn't feel good going all these items that are meant to empower your Alchemists, and you're not winning team fights behind that hero. So they're going to go for it again.
Spirit revealing and slowing things down. Hope until the Mud Golem stunning up X-Nova.
But Ame's really far away. They noticed that he wasn't there, and this might actually be...
It's a free Roche. Unless. No. Something's not going to go for it, is he? He's thinking about it. He's hovering around this area. He's going to go for the blink. Gushed up. Won't be able to anymore. The Earth Splitter going down. Challenge, who got trying to get in, but the Age is picked up by Ana. And now Challenge immediately punishes. He's hit by the Ravage. They do have the disruption on top of the duel. X-Nova will eventually die here. Ame with his BKB. He activates it, but everybody of OG is so tanky. PSG.LGD was just a mistake to try and challenge this Roshan FY. Trying to get away, but there's so many blinks coming in. Another round of unstable concoction. Catches FY. LGD lose the Roshan, and they lose 3.
I'm so surprised that they took the fight in that way. They held for so long, and then they just gave up the area. Ame decided he was going to go bottom, and then TP's back to base.
And OG has
just
shown
going for it.
That if you give them this opening, they're going to push it in a hurry. They do have the Aghanim Scepter for Somnus. This is going to be rather important in being able to defend. He throws out the volley with the Burrow Strike. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The Avalanche followed up. Seb, as well as Ana, knocked down to half health. But
that was the buyback from the Sand King.
Going to be able to finish off the Sand King. No buyback from him. There's going to be one coming out from X-Nova. But these heroes are rapidly regenerating up, thanks in part to No Tail and his healing aura. And Ame, he's trying to build up some S&ship charges. More volleys into the back line as he goes. But this is looking like Ana is unstoppable. Jarek's buying them the time with the Sandstorm, making sure everybody gets out except for him, and yeah, that is going to be Jarek's con. Thompson thinking about turning around. He doesn't have Ravage.
They come back in.
Ana coming back in. X-Nova going to be saved by so much damage, but in the end, he's going to be left alone. Somnus does manage to finish off Jarek, so support for support trade up, and LGD still down 2.
But there's no more racks for them to take. They know there's bounty runes. They're going to reset off of that. That'll be a 2-for-1, and the racks taken. Ame's decision, and whoever's call it was on PSG.LGD, that might prove to be fatal. The decision to split up, give up that Roshan area to deal with the rest of the waves.
Yep.
You had to have known that OG was desperate to take that Rosh.
And then in the end, once that mistake does happen, trying to cover up that mistake by fighting for the Aegis.
Yes, once Ame I think he realized he's like, oh man, I actually messed up. So he tried to overplay. He BKBs, uses that and his ulti. Once that pops off, OG knows this Slark cannot 5-on-5 against us.
Well, we'll see how well LGD is going to be able to hold, because OG, you know what they want to do.
They're going to get a heart on this Alk, and the regen with the Divine Favor is going to be out of control. Percentage-based heal on percentage-based heal.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of health he'll have.
And again, they still don't have a Spirit Vessel either. It still would have been handled by the Legion Commander with the Press the Attack, which is another great synergy with this Alchemist. So even if he does get chain stun, they always have a way to be able to break it.
And somehow they find themselves in the exact same position they did in the previous game.
It's a little bit tougher to go high ground a second time, though.
Oh, look at this. Seb went back for drums so they could all in for it.
Nice.
He knows. He smells blood right now.
He's going to be pulled in soon.
You only go for this item. You go back for this item because you think to yourself, this game's going to be over real quick.
Yes. Somnus. They have the Sandstorm DPS. They have the volley. They have these little things they can throw out, but they have to be able to address the back line of OG. And look at where Thompson is. He's trying to break smokes right now. They're going to sneak over with the Slark, but he's been spotted by. They are going to make the entrance. Two-man Bro Strike. Immediately Raps going down. The unstable concoction cocked up, ready to go. On to Chalice for the duel. On to Somnus. He's trying to get the cleaves in, but it just dies. The Earth Splitter goes out, but it's not enough. Ami's building up the damage. Seb has been purged up. Maybe they finish him off. Chalice actually managed to get away, but at the same time, Ame could not commit for Seb. So in the end, it's just Somnus who died with no buyback.
And that was everything that PSG.LGD had. They committed hard for that fight. They still have the epicenter, but a lot of this damage just being negated by the heart. Anna's just going to go back in.
He needs 60 gold. 60 gold for the buyback on Somnus, or 30 seconds. Which will it be, LGD? Are they going to have to give up 2 lanes of barracks against
this
combo? Jarek's throwing down some volleys of his own. Chalice prepping the epicenter blink. He's going to be able to get the 2 in the back line. Can they actually finish him off this time? They're just so damn tanky. There's no follow-up damage. They don't have the tiny. The pipe is too strong, and Chalice sitting amongst them inside the Sandstorm, trying to push them back, but he's going to have to Burrow Strike away from Anna, as Anna pops another Chemical Rage, turns to the melee barracks. And this is going to be 2 as Ame starts racking up those stacks into the back line. This time he'll commit the BKB to finish off the Chen. Couldn't stop it. And Seb actually completes the teleport in, managed to get the duel. Can they kill Ame though? The BKB is still going off, and he gets more and more stats. Shadow dance away. Anna looking for any target that's weak, but he has to TP away. He realizes he's low. Disruption's up. He got him. And boy, got him. He stalls up Anna, and now Anna. Oh no, the Burrow Strike Challenge. This is not the moment to choke, my friend. But fortunately, Somnus is always there to protect you.
And Thompson in the back line has been chased. Ame with so many stacks, 141 agility. They wanted to get away from that Slark. It took them a little bit too long. They do lose the melee barracks, but that's a 5-man team wipe. PSG.LGD needed that desperately.
And as a result, it was quite the net worth climb for OG in these fights, but it is going to take heavily back down. Is OG now only holding a 5,000 net worth, and Ame is going to start claiming some items, starting with the Shadow Blade, working towards a Silver Edge. We almost have the Solar Crest for the Sand King. Somnus now has a crit with the Crystallis. That volley just gets more and more dangerous, but OG, they only really need 1, maybe 2 more fights.
Look at OG. They're hiding so far behind Jarex. He's being patient right now. They understand that PSG.LGD with the numbers advantage is on the hunt. That's why Ame's going to go all the way around.
He's got the Shadow Blade. He's still got the extra 100 agility he's stolen from earlier. And with the Dark Pack going out, Jarex, that is not a steal that will get you away from Ame.
That's 123 agility that he still has, and the 11 perma. That's quite a bit of it.
And all the bounty rooms. That is, look at that, 2,000 net worth. That's it.
And the gold lead is swung now the other way. These 2 Titans just swinging for the fences right now. And OG has to be careful. Every other team has proved that Mega Creeps does not end the game. If you are consistently getting wiped for just racks, that does not feel good.
At the same time, though, they know that PSG.LGD does not have buyback on their Shadow Demon, Chalice, as well as X-Nova. Do you try and force it anyway in this fight, or are you just waiting for Roshan?
I think you're waiting for Roshan. That's probably your next objective, for both teams, in fact.
Okay.
For OG, it's how you get potentially the last set of racks without having to hard commit. For PSG.LGD, getting it onto Ame so that he doesn't have to use his BKB so soon would be pretty nice. And remember that OG is still on the timer. A lot of these items that they've opted to go for, they're not meant to scale.
I mean, you said it perfectly with Seb, right?
You went
the
back
only
for
reason
drugs.
you go back for drugs is all inning right now.
Yeah, you think I'm going to win this fight, they're going to break, we're going to wipe them, we're going to go for the throne, I'm going to pop my drums active repeatedly. I mean, they've got like 14 auras.
Oh boy, Thompson, he's got his level 20, and he's about to finish up a Desolator. So when Roshan does spawn, they can do it super quickly. But at the same time, PSG.LGD,
Ame uses buyout gold here.
Ame,
Gotta be careful. They've got a gem.
The volley, slowing down some of those supports, but they pulled in Anna, and I'm not sure PSG.LGD are ready to take a fight right now. Epicenter, oh, Chalice. Fortunately, he held on to it in a way. He stopped it, so OG don't know he used that big team fight ultimate.
Doesn't feel too good. Ame, whenever you use your buyback gold out like that, it feels so bad. Yes, you have your silver edge, but you don't feel comfortable fighting at this point.
Yeah. A tense game 3 for OG and LGD. This determines who's going to be heading to the grand finals. Will it be a repeat? Will OG beat LGD in the upper bracket finals and go all the way through to the grand finals for the second year in a row? Or will it be LGD changing history, changing the fate, the path that laid before them into Shanghai?
You can forget about the last TI if you win this one.
Yes.
This is the biggest one by far. It'll sting a lot less.
In so many ways, whether it's the prize pool or the pride of finding under your home nation.
The only thing that matters is being the latest champion.
15 to 25, 33 minutes in. We're going to have a split push. OG, they've got 2 towers to take bottom lane. Ame plays the other side of the map. PSG.LGD, they're not looking for a fight until Roshan. And Roshan, it's up right now. Surprising that OG be willing to play the other side of the map, but maybe they feel like LGD just can't do Roshan quickly by themselves.
I think LGD is just waiting for their opportunity to just hold out another high ground assault like that.
Yeah.
That's where their Sand King's going to be the strongest too, is when OG's going to push into him. Plus, PSG.LGD, I think they make the right read on the game. They should feel like if it continues to go on, they will win. I have to imagine this is the Slark.
They're going to try and break him. They're going to toss him into Ame. Ame looking for the break, but no, Thompson gets off the Ravage first on the 4. No real follow-up from OG, though, so honestly, that's good enough for LGD, forcing out that ultimate.
Yeah, with the Ravage down, that would have been the gem. That's why Thompson was so willing to pop that.
Yeah.
Even though it might cost you another fight, not losing the gem is the key here.
So OG say, that's fine, we have time. We'll just spend 2 minutes before we take Roshan. LGD are not going to be able to force the issue themselves.
And this is going to be an Ags picked up by Anna. Wonder who he gives it to. Jerax would be a pretty good call.
Thompson now has the Desolator, and he's somewhat close to 25. This is something that Ame may have to start worrying about a little bit.
The lack of armor on Tiny?
No, just the gigantic amount of AoE damage that comes from this anchor smash.
I was being sarcastic.
Somnus gonna be caught. Pounce, dead. Woo. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Daedalus soon for Somnus too.
Everybody has so much armor on the side of PSG.LGD.
They really do.
Oh.
This tiny 34 armor. Ame is 25 for himself.
I don't actually think they care about this Deso very much. But I feel like OG's lineup, they're kind of running out of options for what they can get.
Buyback from Seb with this stomp. What's happening here? He's actually going to TP over to Ame, but at the same time, they're still trying to finish off Thompson. That is not going to be good enough unless the Gem on the ground too. Right. Gem on the ground. Chalice not able to grab him, but look at the damage rating again from the volley. Ame's now here. The BKB activated, and they quickly realize that with the BKB chemical rage, Anna is too tanky to go for. X-Nova thought he was going to be able to get it. Couldn't get the gem. Gem dropped. Thompson reclaims it.
They don't want to give up this Roshan area. Ame's going to hop in. Somnus is going to bottle up that invis. Not that good because of the gem that they still happen to have, but PSG.LGD in a really good position right now. The buybacks were used by OG, but of course, as we saw throughout this game, all that really matters is who gets this Roshan.
That's why everyone's just playing around that mid lane.
They gave the Axe to the Tide, by the way. One of my favorite Ags in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so awkward, and it's like a better version of Venge's Wave of Terror.
I mean, you've got the Gush Armor talent for it too, so that's -12 in a line, plus the Acid Spray. Plus, you know, Solar Crests that are being thrown around on both sides. Disable Concoction pop, the momentary stun onto Ame. Doesn't want to blow his BKB, so he pounces down into the river.
Building up those stacks. He's got 12 perma agi. That's so much. They're looking for the backline right now. Thompson does have.
He's been confident. He's put a 3-man Burrow Strike. The Ravage goes off though, controlling up Ame to get first down by Thompson. The big swing of the anchor smash. Finish him off. Now FY trying to get the force tap. Disruption out. Stomp going in. That's going to be Jarek. It's already dead. No Tail's quite low as well. But the cores of OG going strong. The buyback coming in from Ame though. Can he come in? Can he deal with Thompson? Burrow Strike out for challenge to X-Nova. He's going to be left fed to Ana and Thompson.
No Tail about to burn out, but
no Tail almost died there. The presence of the attack helps him though.
And all the buybacks filtering through. And I lied, Thompson does so much damage.
Dude, Thompson does so much damage, and he doesn't even have their 25 talent yet.
I can't believe Ame died to that. And Roshan's getting really low. We talked about how important this was.
The volley's up, they're going to throw it in, but it's going to be too late to be able to claim Roshan at least. So LGD gonna have to do another one of their famed high ground defenses.
OG just figures it out. They find a way, they dig deep. They figure out a way to win. Look at the net worth and the XP slowly start to climb back in their favor. I figured for sure PSG.LGD's lineup would be stronger at this point, but OG are just out fighting them. Their use of the buybacks feel a little bit better.
And it all starts with Jarek's, right? He gets the telekinesis, the follow-up Ravage, then they Solar Crest the Slark, hit him with the big anchor smash.
Yeah, this is just one team outplaying another at this point. This should be where PSG.LGD is stronger. OG is just looking like
an opening here, trying to jump onto Ana, force something out, Burrow Strike out for the duel. Immediately used onto Tiny. Somnus, is there a save? There's no, there's no Shadow Demon here.
Chalice is going to go down too.
Back, and Chalice is dead. They both fight back. Ame, he's out here, breaking Ana. No BKB for him, but he does have cheese. Oh, at the epicenter, and the Burrow Strike, they're going to try and finish off. No Tail, he dies, immediately bites back. Ana fighting up against Ame. Ame with the Shadow Dance, though. Cheese immediately popped. They're going to try and back themselves away, playing the high ground again. OG, will they assault the base again? Or will they just play it slow?
I think they should just go for it again. They've got Ravage in 20 seconds. They've got Aegis. I think Thompson's just going back for mana, and they're going to go for it again. There's no buyback on a lot of these heroes on the side of PSG.LGD. All it's going to take is one more swing, one successful team fight, and OG will have won and secured themselves a top 2 finish at this TI.
250 damage up for Thompson, and he's got Ravage. He can play the front line now. He can be the one hitting the tower if they want.
Ana doesn't have buyback himself, but they're just going to allow Thompson to swing away at this tower. Ame looking for an opening, gonna go in, break.
Catcher. He's actually so low already, but he lets loose the Ravage. Are they gonna be able to follow up? They have the disruption. Challenge gonna be able to intercept, making sure the Steph doesn't manage to get the duel. Saw this, force staffed away as well, but they're going in for the Megas right now. They still have a Rax up in top lane, so this is not Megas by itself. Saw this, trying to finish off Thompson. That is maybe gonna be the Aegis one little bit. They spot him out for a moment, and swing it away. He almost dies, but the Shadow Dance plus the BKB, he's gonna be able to get away. Unstable concoction, disruption, he's gonna stun himself. He does. Thompson, though, making his way up to top lane, has to force half away. FY in danger of that anchor smash. The finishing blow. OG all in. One last chance to make their way to the grand finals here. Get those Megas, but don't lose your lives for it, as they do not have buyback. They don't have the Ravage anymore. Can they get this range barracks? Can they get the Megas? And can they get out afterwards? PSG.LGD.
They're going to have to do this 4-on-5 with no buybacks.
Disruption, leading things off, trying to get those illusions, stomp into the backline, doesn't hit anything, and immediately Chemical Rage, that's going to be Megas. PSG.LGD will try and hold against Mega Creeps.
OG, they might not be done yet.
LGD is saying, if we can just draw this out a little bit longer, maybe we can win, but OG may not give the chance. Mega Creeps isn't good enough for this team. They're going to go for the tier 4s, and will this be the blow that ends the game? Will this be the way that they get to the grand finals, or will this be their fatal mistake? One tier 4 down, a break, on to Jerix, immediately disruption going out. Ame, he's been disrupted, his illusions, gotta stay away from those. He's gonna go for Thompson here. BKB activated, Soul Catcher on him, press the attack though, helping him out, Earth Splitter. Oh, but they caught the duel. They caught Ame, and he's dead for 2 minutes. The volley's coming in, but it's not good enough. Now, the physical damage will overwhelm the throne, and PSG.LGD in a 3 versus 5 can no longer hold. OG in the upper bracket finals bring down LGD. OG are going to the grand finals for the 2nd year in a row.
They will have the opportunity to defend their throne. If you come at the Kings, you best not miss.
OG have done it again. Absolutely unprecedented.
The most stacked TI field that we've ever seen. Probably the best top 4 that we've ever seen, and they're still gonna do it.
Unbelievable, especially with what a great way to start this series too. LGD taking the win in somewhat of a tight game, the crowd backing him, but OG come back twice.
They don't
with
care.
The Alchemist, and they don't care about the crowd.
They won. Oh my lord, I can't believe they get the opportunity to defend. That is incredible. You can see the relief and the happiness. So many doubters.
How have they done it?
It was a fluke. They just sort of like lapsed their way in.
2 flukes in a row. OG is something else. And the crowd, they will give their due.
Or maybe this is just honestly the best team in Dota. Who knows?
They're certainly the best team in this tournament right now. What an unbelievable race from OG. Winning 2-1.
A fluke. A fluke. You cannot call it a fluke anymore as we see OG make their way to another grand final. And we're going to take a look into the coach's room of OG when they actually see it happen. Such a huge achievement. And the question is, will they actually get an achievement that no one has gotten before? Will they not only win 2 TIs, will they win back-to-back TIs? I mean, we're really staring at that potential right now. If you were going to pick a team to take them down, would it be LGD? Is that rematch happening in the grand final? Do you think that that's the best chance they have of being dethroned?
It feels, I mean, LGD, right? They took a game in this series, and then they got Shen out twice in a row, and it feels like, you know, they thought they had this counter, and I could definitely see them coming back through the loser's bracket and being the grand finals opponent, like 100%.
You lose to Alk, you play next game, you don't ban Alk,
Yeah.
profit, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So why does that happen?
Sometimes the captains and the coaches are just stubborn. They think they can counter it. In the end, it didn't happen.
It's the evil you know, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the thing that you're going for there, because that was one of the first things that caught my ear. And obviously, I have like probably the 2nd lowest MMR out of all the casters.
Yes, sorry,
and I'm hearing this interview, and you see the out go there, you see the out go through, and you're just like, wait, why? And the coach says, okay, we're gonna let the out go through. We have a plan for it. We're gonna try to shut it down. Alk seems to be one of these names that we're going to be saying consistently. Like Alk and Ench are the 2 that jump off the page to me as just being the nuts.
It feels like every time that we bring up this point of, well, better to fight the enemy you know, it's because we're talking about someone who just lost to that, right? People have tried to fight the IO. They've tried to fight the Alk. Has it looked good?
No.
No, not really.
Nothing
those
ever
guys,
looks good.
How do you fight them? I mean, they banned out that AA. I can see that maybe working. Even that's not a surefire victory versus someone like the Alchemist.
But let's do some quick math, right?
Okay.
Oh, I love
quick
math.
and
I'll use
correct.
my
So
fingers.
stacking minus armor, AoE gush with the Aghanim Scepter talent, 7 plus
you want to do
5
7?
talent, that's 12.
Oh,
Solar
here,
Crest,
wait, you hold up 10. I got the 2.
we need more fingers.
We're
Plus
at 12?
12, that's 24. And
Wait.
plus 7 from acid spray.
Hey,
that's
you know what?
31. 31.
With all of that, I only need 1 finger. You know why?
All right.
Because we're throwing it over to Casey.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty shaken. I'm feeling pretty good. pretty emotional.
Can you walk me through what that feels like? Nobody, I mean, you made it to the grand final.
That's fucking wild. It's crazy. It's still sinking in very much.
I think we talked to you back in January and we asked if you had dared to start looking ahead to TI9 and the possibility of being in a grand final. And you all said it's way too soon. We're not thinking that far ahead. And we're here.
Before this tournament, things were a bit dark. My dog had died, and yeah, it was really rough for a couple of weeks.
Sorry.
My self-esteem was pretty low, and now we're here. Sebastian, I mean, honestly, I dedicate this tournament to him. Oh, fuck, this is so crazy.
You're making me cry. Stop it.
No, but really, thank you, Sebastian, and of course, everyone else. Just feeling so fucking lucky, feeling so fucking good. Yeah. That's fucking adrenaline, I'm shaking. Woo! Oh.
It's like the full range of every emotion that you can imagine. And I know you have a lot of respect for the fans here who obviously have been really excited to watch LGD play. Such a great team, such a great matchup. How did this lineup and matchup feel to you compared to a year ago? I mean, we're literally watching history repeat itself.
I mean, the LGD guys, they always give us these fantastic Dota games, and we feel so honored that we have this opportunity once again to play on a main stage in front of so many people. And the crowd has been absolutely wonderful. Like, we know they cheer more for LGD than us, but there's a lot of guys in the crowd who are showing, I mean, love for the game and love for both teams. And it was a blessing. I mean, I'm vibrating, and I think a lot of it is that energy from the crowd. And yeah, these games, it's crazy. It's just wild. Freaking love it.
You mentioned Seb. What about the rest of your teammates? I know that you formed quite a tight brotherhood in the last year, even with Anna leaving and coming back.
This group of guys, I woke up the other day and I thought to myself, like, what would it be like to play Dota with another team? And that was a very depressive thought, because I wouldn't change a single thing. I wouldn't change anything. These guys, they got my back, and I can feel it. I love them.
I have so many Dota questions, and I'm just not going to ask them, because I love being able to see this moment with you, because so many people have been following your journey as a player and the team's journey, and this is what Dota is all about.
It really is. Jeez. Oh my God, these games are so wild. Oof. What a good feeling.
Are you going to watch tonight?
Of course.
Secret Liquid?
I'm not missing a single game, not missing a second.
Who would you like to see in the grand final?
Last year, I really, really wanted to play Liquid, and I still feel like they owe us that game. I mean, we owe each other that game, really. I really hope to meet them, although Secret has been a challenge for us all year, so we'll welcome it as well. God bless anybody that comes our way. Good luck to them. Not kidding. We're staying humble here. So much respect to all the teams. LGD, fantastic games. Liquid, I die to play them. Secret, they've been the best team this season. No matter what, we're just happy to play. Feeling so lucky.
And while I have you here, before we send it back, is there anything you want to say to all the fans who've been watching?
It's just thank you all for supporting us. We've been memeing it up this year. It's all for good laughs. I hope you guys are just enjoying the show. And yeah, to the crowd, the stadium, this is crazy. The atmosphere is so wild.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thanks for showing us some amazing Dota.
Thanks for watching.
Showing us how it's done. All right, back to you guys.
Yeah, and thank you not only for the amazing Dota, but also for letting us talk to you right after hopping off the stage. I mean, you can see a lot going on there. It's one of those moments, though, where you see an interview like that, and you just get completely sold. It's like, okay, I'm not even thinking of 2-time, 3-time champs. Complete life glitches. Yeah. You know, like you look at them and you just really believe, especially when you hear not only everything that, you know, you have to overcome in individual life, a bad season inside of Dota, and then you get up on the main stage and you're just able to put it all together. It's incredible.
I mean, someone like No Tail, like, I mean, back, you know, when he played Han, like, you know, we didn't really like each other much, but, you know, when the Dota 2, we both grew up, like, he didn't have to like me ever, honestly, and he was always so nice. He's like one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. It's crazy. You walk by him, just hey, what's up, man? Like to everyone. It's awesome to see someone like him just
I
make
just
it there.
tweeted it out. We don't deserve No Tail. Like he's just too good for this community. He really is.
A dangerous thing to be, but hilarious as well.
Yeah.
Every time he comes up on the main stage, and on top of that, I think his attitude is just such a good one. I mean, it's almost not a surprise when you see him able to just hurdle after hurdle, overcome them with this team, and having that moment where it does all click. He says, I can't imagine playing Dota with any other team. It's a depressing thought to think about playing Dota with any other team.
It's not friends anymore. They're like a family. They spend so much time traveling. It basically becomes your second family.
Yeah, but also look at what happens when you take out one piece of the family. It almost completely fell apart, right? And then all of a sudden you throw them back together, and the band's back together. It's like having the mystery van loaded up with everybody. If you take out Anna, you take out Scooby-Doo.
No,
You're not solving any crime. Yikes!
OG is the they have the only family members that I recognize when I'm like at LANs and stuff too. Like I feel like they often have this big support crew with them. We're like, oh hey, it's Johan's dad. It's like, oh, I know that guy, right? And I see like some of Seb's family here too. Down at the breakfast, I'm seeing all of them. I mean, they've got the whole crew here too. So it's not just like that team family, but it's that supporting unit all around it too that helps carry you right back to another grand final.
Yeah, I mean, you're constantly, like, if you're walking around the venue, if you're just walking around the area, you constantly see, whether it's a hat, a jersey, you see a lot of OG, you really do. And the thing that I do want to say is there really isn't, as much as we see a lot of OG, we're not going to see much more Dota, right? There are only 3 series left in TI.
No.
Think about it. We're getting down to the wire here. We're going to have 1 more series left today, and then we get down to business tomorrow, and we're actually going to see who does lift up the Aegis. Before we do that, though, we are going to have a special treat. We're going to look at this bracket really quickly here and see how all the teams did get to where they're at right now. And taking a look at that upper bracket, we only got 1 team who hasn't dropped a series in bracket play, and it is going to be OG.
Yep, absolute beast. There's not much more you can say. There actually just isn't. They're just that good at Dota, that good at the mind games. It's crazy.
They got the maths, right? Lakosh just pointed out they find those ways to break the game. And that's taking them back.
Now, like I mentioned, we have another treat in store for us right now. We're going to be taking a look at the main stage. It is time for the cosplay competition. We're going to be providing we're not going to be doing that, but we are going to be providing
last place right there.
I thought it was us. Oh, sorry.
We're jumping down to the main stage. Let's see what they have in store.
Hi. 大家好，接下来呢，我来宣布，我就是本届 TI9 的 cosplay 冠军。哦，当然了，没人相信我，对吧？看我也就是看个乐，真正学技术还得看 cosplay 大赛。那接下来让我们一个一个来揭开他们神秘的面纱吧。首先，1号参赛选手嘉颖。 那大家可以看到他和他的宠物皮克斯，以及他脚下的荆棘迷宫。那这里就是我们熟悉的显影方。
Oh my god, does she even have a drone?
好，接下来我们来看 Shepherd， 这位来自俄罗斯的 coser。
It's actually a cosplay you don't see that often.
Hey there. We're back to
so we're working really quickly. I do want to introduce with us right now. We have Caro joining us. I believe you've been doing cosplay for 15 years. You've been organizing a whole bunch of cosplay competitions. So we do have an expert with us right now. Can you break down what we have been seeing so far, Caro?
Okay, so I even know this Legion commander because she was like in the previous cosplay contest already and she won there. But trying this cosplay is just like next level. Like it's not comparable to like any other region. It's just incredible.
Is it like a time thing? Like do you think they just spend like their entire year and like, oh my god.
Oh, yes. Oh my god, yeah, I think so.
It's a trend protector.
It is incredible.
I love the I gotta say I love cosplay, but I love the accessories. We saw like the blades, the pipe right there. I don't know that
thing looks heavy.
I like the heroes that I would never think to cosplay. You're like, what?
I love these lollipops inside the TB's wings.
Yeah, that's sick.
I'm actually just impressed. I mean, they had a lot of criteria for this cosplay contest, like creativity, for example, then the material, stitching, how does it fit, like does the proportions and stuff like fit the hero, then of course attention to the detail and like in general the overall complexity.
One of my best friends, he's always very critical of anything that anybody would be wearing, and he has a popular saying where he goes, "Wrong belt," and we have not seen any of that here.
No, these are right belts.
This is amazing.
It looks like a robot. Like this is.
But
I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Walk? It's like this is actually insane. They look like exactly as they would have taken, like out of the in-game scene on the stage.
How much time does it need to build something like this?
Really depends on how much time you put into it. Like when you're working full time, then sometimes it needs half a year. I think those guys are working for it like since the announcement last year, pretty sure.
Yeah. Love the name, 10,000 MMR.
Wow, Planetfall, Earthshaker.
Oh my god.
He had it on the ground too. They had the explosion on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, is that the Crimson Witness? Yo, there's my boy repping Canada. Well, not really, but we got the Maple Leafs, so I'm down. This guy's got my vote already.
My favorite thing, I don't think you get a vote, by the way. But I do say, I think my favorite thing about looking at cosplay is when you look and you're like, wait, where's the person? How is there a person in there? It's so cool.
Oh, I like the movement here. This Doom is repping hard.
Oh, that blade.
That's Arcana right there.
It's really hard. Like I don't want to know how the judges will decide in the end, because it's so tough when you're having like such good cosplays, and then you have to decide like for 4 winners in the end here.
Yeah. You never want to be one to choose.
Did this set even come out that long ago? Isn't that like a relatively new set? That seems crazy.
It's pretty new, yeah.
See, I think like the thing right now too is
my
god!
Shoot me, please. This is a winner for me right there.
That's awesome.
That's not a real tiger, right?
So short. No.
Never know.
So
you never know.
Little story. This morning, we were actually pulling up in the bus. We saw them wheeling in the tiger, and we were like, "Wait, what is going on?" I'm so glad I finally know. I do want to say all of these guys are just on the same tier. Like these are just top tier cosplays.
For sure.
They're amazing. Yeah, they will have the top 4. There's one best in show, best technique. One is the best transformation, and then the innovative award. But it's really hard to tell like who will be who actually.
So for innovative, would that be the one where it's like kind of a hero you don't expect?
I think it's more about like I think it's more something like the Terrorblade, where you saw the circles and something where like moving parts of the cosplay.
It's like the tinkery cosplays, right? Like moving parts, laser beams, stuff like that. What were the other awards? So you got innovation, technique,
best transformation, and best in show.
Okay, so okay.
Oh, she's the best technique. Oh, amazing! I've seen this cosplay like from a close up, and the materials she used, and even the wig. The wig is like, I don't know, 7 kilograms or something. It's insane.
Wow. It really looks heavy.
It does.
Meta 获得了我们的最佳技术奖。那他的军团指挥官呢，也是他纯手绘，他自己染的布，他自己插的绳，所以说呢是我们的最佳技术奖，可谓是手工技术拉满了。好，那接下来我们还有一位，依然是1500美刀的最大转变奖。让我们恭喜芥末。那它的修补酱呢，是完美的还原了修补酱的所有细节，所以叫做最大转变奖。获奖的选手。
Most amazing, yeah.
Is that for the strobe?
Like, look at everything. He has the full back gear, like the strobe light. It's actually so good.
And he's got the moves as well.
Yeah.
最大的奖项了。
That's the best transformation, actually.
哦。
最佳表现奖。
Very well done there.
3000美刀。
All right, now we're gonna get to take a look at the next one. This has been really cool.
哦，这个龙
I really like the siren as well. That was really cool.
如果不是你的话。
She also had like this body paint, which is like a super hard job because it's always rubbing off and it takes so long. Some cosplayers have to get up like 7 hours before the cosplay contest to actually apply body paint.
7 hours?
Yes, because it takes really long.
I haven't even been awake that long.
You're still hoping for Mirana.
Okay, I think this might be the.
那我们也是再次恭喜他。 好，让我们把掌声送给所有的 coser。那这里我们也可以
where are
大
his
致一
eyes?
眼
Like
看
where
一
is
下
he
哦，
looking
他身
through?
上的所有的
Maybe the mouth? But yeah, I agree.
都是他自己花费了8个月的
That's
时间
crazy. Like the
亲
paint
手
job
做
and
的。
all the parts with the details.
What do you
just-
usually
The
make?
shoulders.
So I've watched some like videos on Twitter of people making cosplay, and they like take like this like I don't even know what
Like
it
a
is.
white foam.
It's like a
Yeah.
foam, right?
Foam.
And it like gets hardened, like you like heat it up and it gets hardened. Is that how they make most of
No, this is Vorbla, like what you're talking about.
Yes.
But this is like not that popular anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like almost everything is now like made of like craft foam because it's very light, easy to work with, and also your costume is not that heavy in the end.
Okay.
All right, so that's
Well, congratulations to everybody in the cosplay competition. Now we're going to be jumping down to the floor with Casey and Slacks.
Look at all this. This is amazing. These are some of the best cosplays we've seen ever.
I gotta say, I've been to a lot of cosplay competitions. Any one of those could have been a winner at any other one. I can't believe they were all here. The Chinese community, man, they love cosplay. It's nuts.
Nuts!
Yes, but, you know, we've been having some fun with this. We can have a little bit more fun. I've got a little blooper outtake reel from one of the teams at EG. Okay. A lot of fun. I will say, mature content. Children at home, cover your eyes, cover your ears, because there's a lot of naughty words in this one.
Howdy, y'all. Who done ready for some of that Dota 2? Yeah!
This reminds me of 8th grade in drama class. I keep pointing at you and doing this. What the fuck is air quotes? There's a lot of talk about evil geniuses not being a...
Esports teams always have drama. Sometimes
Sometimes it's real. You, Top.
you, Jay.
Sam. You. You. Okay.
Hey, sorry about that, your hoser.
I want some fresh avocado up in this one. I can't stop smiling 1 second.
We'll draw this amateur till I said.
One more time. Get the fucking camera out of here, holy shit.
Well, as I told you, some fun guys. We will miss EG from the tournament, but we still got some great teams left.
Yeah, it was really fun to see. I think throughout the entire tournament, it's fun to see the human side of these players. Like, these are guys who play at such a high level. It's easy to forget that they have funny sides, emotional sides, and it's what makes this community so great.
Absolutely. But funny side and emotional side is over because we got two of the best teams in the world coming up for you. Guys at the panel, let's get this thing started.
Yes, let's get this thing started indeed. Thank you so much, Casey Slacks. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more, but I am very excited to get this next series started here with BlizzCap and Grant. Gentlemen, we got some time to break this one down. So let's get into it. Grant, when you think of Team Secret and Team Liquid facing each other on the main stage, where does your head go to first?
I mean, you just say that, and I'm just thinking two of the best teams in the world. Like, these are world-class organizations, world-class players. You can't just pick a player out of there. It's like, this guy's not tier 1. They're all super, super good, and it's great that they're in the top 4. Like, Liquid, they're 7-0 on the stage right now. That's probably what comes to mind first. They just haven't lost.
For the last 2 years, they have been like the leaders of Western Dota.
Yeah.
OG, you know, they showed up at TI last year, and they've obviously shown up at TI this year. But for most of the DPC season, it's Liquid and Secret that you're turning to as the front runners.
It really is. I must say, though, you mentioned last time they faced on the stage, or rather last time Liquid was playing on the stage, you know, they're 7-0. Last time Team Secret and Liquid were on this very stage in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. It was the grand finals of the Shanghai Major. Let's.
Oh, don't remind me of that. It was a rough time, let me just say.
Oh, you guys got spanked.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. You know, the Dota that was played was great, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, we only won one game, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't too... All right, here's what happened.
Yeah, it wasn't great, though. We casted that final,
too. For people
too.
unaware, Will was the coach of Liquid at that time.
Yeah, and we felt great, too. What ended up happening was we go into game 4, and I was like, what are we doing? And Curl was like, I have no idea. And we picked Dro. I talked to Boba. I was like, oh, what was the Dro about? And she's like, we're out of ideas. There's nothing left in the gas tank, because the problem is we started in the lower bracket after losing to MVP. Once you have to make that climb, everyone starts figuring you out, and every potential opponent on the way
is just danger. You have to. There's no holding back strats. There's anything you have left in the tank. You empty out. You try not to worry about what the finish line looks like, and it's just exhausting from a mental perspective. And so we last picked Dro. We have we've never played it before. The Slark Doom was too strong from Team Secret. They had a concept that was really hard to beat.
That was Liquid from the lower bracket. We have seen them later on in their career again make a run in the lower bracket and finishing first at the international, actually, through the lower bracket. Right now, as Grant says, 7-0. They have not yet been figured out. They have not dropped a single game after a pretty abysmal group stage. I think that's fair to say.
No, definitely. I mean, just them being in the losers bracket, it doesn't matter how many games they won, just them being in the losers bracket, I think, was a super big disappointment for Liquid and probably most of their fans, right? I mean, you're Liquid. You should be in that upper bracket.
You really should. What's up?
Oh, there was something that Mo said to me about, because before this event, he said, what do you think we're going to get? I was like, maybe you can get to the finals, but I laughed and I said, you're losing the Secret. Because I was sure that Secret was going to win this event. I said, you're losing the Secret. And he told me, he said, if we're in the finals in a best of 5, yes, I think we will lose to Secret. He says, but if we meet them any time before that, we're going to win.
Ooh.
I can't believe the situation's actually happening. He said, if we meet them beforehand, he said, we're going to win.
Okay. Well, I do have to also say something here because, you know, there is obviously a lot of history with the players and all that. But before we even get to that, the last 2 internationals, 2017, 2018, Secret got eliminated before their time, or at least that's what a lot of people will say, considering their potential going into the tournament. And which team eliminated them both times previous? Team Liquid.
That's crazy.
Every time. In the lower bracket, they meet.
That's what he said.
Secret's out.
Anytime before the finals. He said, we want to play them before the finals, knock them out before they reach full strength.
That is crazy, though, because what is there such a massive difference from a best of 5 and a best of 3?
Yeah, it's the extra game or two, just simply because Secret have that depth that they've shown throughout the entire DPC season. I mean, that was always like Secret's strength, right? It's the fact that they're able to play everything, right?
I'm not sure. I think I think Liquid believes in history, especially Kuro. I think he believes in like the idea of like it's destined to happen, and once it is, like he knows how it'll happen, and like that's what gives him like this weird confidence.
And it can get in your head. Like that stuff can definitely get to you.
Now, when you talk about Dota 2 rivalries, everybody at the moment thinks of No2 and Fly. But before that, there was a bigger one, and there still is a bigger one. Because you got Kuroki and Puppy. There's a lot of history for those players just alone. Both players have made it to all 9 internationals, which is mad, by the way. And before that, they were already playing Dota 1. They have had a career from over a decade. They played together a lot.
Yeah, they did. I actually was lucky enough back in Dota 1. Look at that. I mean,
that is, yeah.
Someone's breaking 200 no matter what.
No matter what. Someone's going to break 200. That is crazy. That is such a high number.
And these guys really haven't changed that much. I actually was very lucky back when, you know, I was playing with Merlini in like 2009. Like he invited me to play it, just stand in, scrimmed a couple times with it. I believe it was Kuroki, Puppy, Azin, Merlini, and me. And just, I was there and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? And it's just funny. They're just normal people, just like us, though.
What the hell's going on? He says, I can tell you what's going on right now. The players are ready to take the stage. Team Secret is a favorite coming into the International 2019, or maybe they were the favorite, because even though they crushed it in the group stage, they did show some weakness on the main stage, dropping down to the lower bracket, having some tough matches against a lot of different opponents. Although this morning, when they played Vici Gaming, it felt like something had changed, something has clicked. I feel like this Team Secret is ready to face their ultimate challenge so far. Team Liquid. Team Liquid has quite the opposite story at this event so far. The International 2019 was not kind to them at the start, but ever since main stage, ever since they got on that stage, got in those pods, they started playing some Dota in front of all these Dota 2 fans. They are an entirely different beast, and they are crushing it. They are basically slaying their way to the top with ease, already making it to a top 4 right here at the International 2019. And I know that a lot of people have seen the following interview quite a few times already, but when you're having a matchup between Puppy and Kuroky, you need to see this again.
And then there were two. They're the only two people here who have been to every single TI.
I mean, I think it's really cool that it's us two.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a big thing to us. There's no way it's not.
What do you remember about your first TI? Because both of your experiences couldn't be more different. You came in and lost all of the games.
Yeah, it was great.
You came in and won all of the games.
I just scrambled a team and Dota 2 came out and some of my teammates thought it's not a serious thing.
For us, it was just like a test. If we're actually the best team, we should be able to win this.
And when did you first meet? Do you remember?
We met first in 2008. Yeah, we played together the LAN tournament DreamHack.
And then I'm like the tallest man he's ever met or something, but he already knew that because I was in pictures.
It was like a rocking, like a good hairstyle.
You had long hair?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna look that up.
You were 16, I was 18.
16, yeah.
Oh my God.
Usually people with that hair say Led Zeppelin or something like that, you know? What? What's wrong with it?
No, nothing's wrong with it. I think it's
Jaw-dropping?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, look at that scarf. What a terrible decision.
But yeah, to answer your question, that's when we first met.
Thank you, Kuro.
And we played, and we were like, hey, like, we like each other, the way we play, or we're smart about the game. Let's make a team together, and that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So there was a mutual respect kind of right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. By TI3, you're both on Navi. What was it like to actually be there playing a TI on the same team?
I came with no expectations, personally, but we just did very well. I mean, we're so close to win.
Alliance were quite a dominant team, and their meta was like invincible during that time. There was no beating it. You would just have to copy it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They were the best. I mean, what Alliance did is, till today, it has an effect of how Dota changed. They just broke the game apart and reinvented the game in a lot of ways.
What made you decide to leave Navi together and form Secret?
You know, okay, we got like second place at TI3. We almost won it, but it wasn't a happy moment for us during the grand finals. There was a lot of conversation between players and stuff, and it was not nice.
Puppy and I are just extremely ambitious, I would say. And when we feel like it's not being followed up by our teammates, you know, we'll go forward. We're gonna keep going forward in this game, and just came to that point.
So what do you think happened in TI5? You were heavily favored when you came in. I think you finished 7th. Didn't do so great. And then you decided not to play on the same team anymore.
I think there's a Dota part and the human part. I think Dota-wise, we were not prepared to win.
Team had weak chemistry, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
We were actually all the best players, I would say, individually.
Yeah. It was just a raw skill team.
Especially in that team where we all knew that we were all really good, criticizing is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You're always bottling in, kind of like, all right, I can't say that or something. You just keep bottling until it explodes, and it did. Good for us.
I mean, good experience, you know? Made us stronger.
Made us stronger.
And I mean, this is the thing we're giving to our new teammates. This is why Puppy can lead like one of the best teams in the world.
Right.
Like, he's teaching them like how to deal with problems and all the things we failed in TI5, maybe even TI4 or whatever. We learned, and we're good at conveying this message.
So were you guys always friends, or did that kind of start a little bit of strife between you guys, or did you leave on good terms?
Not good terms, I would say.
No.
I'm sure that was my toughest time of all in like my career. To look back we needed to part ways.
Yeah, I think we're both happy where we're at nowadays.
Yeah.
And we already talked a lot about our problems, whatever. It's just like, I don't know, like it's life. It's, you know, we spend so much time together in this game. This game is intense, a very intense game. Emotions go very high. It's not just friendship, it's friendship and business.
How did you become friends again?
After time.
Are we friends?
We just go to yeah. Cut the camera. Take that one.
Happy to be here.
Me too.
And it's cool that we're doing this.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It is really cool that they are doing this on the main stage here in front of a crowd. Team Liquid, Team Secret, both these captains extremely ambitious, as they said. And actually, I want to point out that that broken up friendship resulted in one being a TI champion and the other one not yet, maybe. You know, still successful though.
Yeah, super dominant. And I think that, you know, it's funny just the way that Casey prefaces the question, right? It's like there's the expectation that like everything will resolve itself. But the thing is that Dota is such an intense experience. And sometimes your friendships can go through experiences that break them. And it's not very easy to put them back together. And, you know, that's okay. Sometimes these experiences get broken down, and it is something that both Kuro and Pubg have learned from. And now they've become some of the best leaders that Dota 2 has. So
maybe not best friends, but definitely respecting of each other.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Guys, what is going to be the most important thing in this matchup? Because we talk a lot about, you know, experience, mental warfare in the case of OG mostly. What is the most important factor in this game? Is it going to be the heroes? Is it going to be the mindset? What are we looking for here, Grant?
I think it goes like hero-wise. I think it's just playstyle, right? We actually saw through most of the early stages of Secret's tournament, they were just drafting the Omega late game. And then in the last series, they're fine playing early game. And I think it goes back to Blitz timeout, BO3, BO5. They're showing they can play every single style of Dota. So it's, do we want to play early game? Do we want to play late game?
That is the question. Any final words, Will?
Let's not see Alk Chen again. I'm good with this. LGD showed you. It's all good.
All right. It is time. Game 1 is about to kick off here between Team Liquid and Team Secret on the main stage of the Mercedes-Benz Arena.
Team Liquid versus Team Secret. Game 1.
Welcome to this excellent game 1 of this super important draft here, guys. What are the main points that we're going to be focusing on here?
Oh, well, I don't know where to start, man. I still have a bit of jitters, honestly. It was, I almost forgot to come do my job, but...
But you're here. It's fine. So what do you got now?
Man. These teams know each other well, right? Kuro and Puppy, they've played together at 3 TIs. There's history here. They're the only 2 players that have been at every single one. Like, you gotta look now at like the legacy of these teams, of these players, because it's not about the meta anymore. It's about, all right, what do we believe in? And I honestly don't know. I'm surprised. Yeah, there you go. They let the Wisp through.
I mean, there's a lot of really strong heroes right now that feel like auto wins, right? You got like Wisp, Alchemist feels too good, Tiny's extremely good, maybe not first round ban, Enchantress is super good, so you gotta let somebody through, right?
Even Chen for good Chen teams.
Yeah, that's true.
But Wisp of all heroes. Yeah. Like this is the one, you know, people trying to theory craft, what do we ban against OG? You know, Wisp is a must, you think about, but...
Do you feel like any teams have really given countering IO a good try though? It kind of feels like they draft lineups, but they're not like, okay, we got to beat the IO. I don't necessarily know what it is, but there's got to be something you can do, right? There's an example, Chen. You can take over the neutral creep that he's tied to. Yep. It's going to force him to tether to somebody that's slower. It's going to leave him defenseless in the early game, potentially, if you gank him. That's one option.
It's true.
It used to be like the good heroes were heroes that were good against like 2, right? Like Grimstroke and Ember, these heroes that have like a double spell built in. But now this Wisp doesn't need another hero. He gets Ags and a creep, and there's no other heroes for you to link to, and he's just dealing, you know, hundreds of magic damage per second.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I'm not surprised to see the Tide Hunter as well picked up by Liquid. Every game where it's available, they tend to go for it. earlier in the tournament, it was a second phase for them. Now, main stage, you want to make sure you've got that AoE lockdown that your draft's going to need. And one of the better ways to counter against a Wisp, although this is traditionally you only conceptualize Wisp as a 4 position, whereas now it's most likely the carry. You want to have team fight. You want to prevent the Wisp from being able to play other ends of the map so that you're always able to press your advantages 5.
So Secret, I think they played Omni in their first series today. They did Omni Bristle as their 2 cores. I think Omni Wisp is kind of a similar idea. You have this really tanky strength core, and you make him tankier.
It's going to be a lot harder to kill him too, because status resistance is halved, so combo initiations against him is less likely to work.
And bursting this Wisp is really hard. Overcharge, you have so much damage reduction.
And if you try to get somebody else, IO's probably going to tether to that guy, give him overcharge, and then if the Omni heals the IO, they get extra heal. There's just a lot of cool combos with it. But what's a weakness, though?
It depends on how they finish the draft, really, because these 2 heroes are arguably the best at supporting in a lineup. And the cool thing about it is we don't know what role either of these heroes are. It could be a traditional Wisp. It could be a carry Wisp. That could be a Puppy Omni Knight. It could be a mid one Omni Knight. We actually have no idea.
I think it's not a mid one Omni Knight, but it could be a mid one Wisp. I think he's played that before. I've seen him playing in pubs. I think like Oracle is one of the heroes that you would think are good against these 2, right? If there wasn't a Chen. You have the Fate's Edict to kind of defend against the the balls from the Wisp, and then you can purge GA from the Omni. But they already have a Chen, so maybe he's looking forward to getting the purge creep, like the small Satyr, purging the GA in the middle of fights.
Yeah. I mean, dispels are huge against Omni, but I just feel like the IO problem is the elephant in the room. It's that you get Ags, and you have this like 700 range buffer, where if they get closer to you, it's kind of bad for IO. But if they stay on that like mid to long range, IO just out damages everybody. So you need stuff that can gap close against him, right?
Oh, for sure.
So what do you do?
I honestly don't know. This is
pressure
why
him?
Secret won the toss. They took first pick. I feel like at the start of the tournament, I leaned second pick favorite. But now with the onset of these heroes like Wisp, that it feels like ET, like Alchemist, you don't want to play against them under any circumstances. And Kuro's hopefully going to surprise us, because thus far I don't think anyone's figured out Wisp, at least at the main event stage.
Yeah, there's all the heroes that you can think about jumping in. I don't think deal enough damage, right? Like you can take an Ember or a Storm per se, right? They jump this Wisp, they're not going to kill him. And they're just going to kill whoever jumps this Wisp right now, which makes this hero so scary, especially with Omni Knight. He's so tanky. He goes, the build's been Helmet Dominator, Ags, Heart. And he has like 3k HP. He's going to have a Heavenly Grace, another 300 HP, 50% status resistance.
Well, one upside is that most of the IO games we've seen, they're also paired with Elder Titans. So not only gave them a good laning stage, because Elder Titan can become so fast with Astral Spirit, but also because he amplifies the spirit damage that's dealt. Yeah. So maybe there's a laning option here. Could see that.
I like the Earth Spirit in theory, just because you provide like the most possible lockdown of any 4 position. And we've seen too many times now these carry Wisps living with 10, 20% HP, and boom, they tether away to a teammate at light speed, and they survive. When you have an Omni Knight as well, the more lockdown and silence you have, the better, because you're going to be playing again. If you only have like a Ravage to play around, right? Then all of a sudden this Omni Knight, if he can just juke the Ravage and then grace somebody, one of his cores, they get a BKB off, suddenly you're winning this fight because there's no more lockdown remaining. This allows you to at least initiate and perhaps be able to 100-0 a core while CCing one of these incredibly versatile support heroes, which again could be a core for all we know.
So that's most likely the 5, right? That's probably a Puppy Witch Doctor, I think.
Yeah, most likely. Very effective against Tide. You can't dispel off Maledict, and then he also transitions to killing solo cores later on.
Yeah, I love the Lesh pick. Yeah. I mean, you know me. This is my favorite hero in Dota. I think the Disco Pony is perfect here. You love playing it against Wisp because you just get in and you do tons of AoE damage. Wisp naturally is going to be positioned around other allied heroes. Leshrac does arguably the most AoE possible in Dota 2. And in addition, it's one of 2 heroes Secret's played more than 10 times this year that they have over 90% win. And I know Liquid's picked it up, but my point is simply that Secret have abused heroes like Lesh, like Enigma, this early tower pressure throughout the entire year. The winningest team thus far in this circuit. And I think Liquid now have this excellent teamfight composition, and they're going to be able to push the tempo. Perhaps Roche into racks in like 20 minutes if they get ahead.
So Secret picked OD, which is kind of not the like steroid type of mid people pick with the carry Wisp. They've been making Gyro, Windrunner. I think Troll Warlord was ran by OG as well. They pick these heroes that usually attack fast, right? Or attack multiple targets. So that the Wisp, if they go late game, the Wisp is also going to be a threat. So this is a little more old school, I think. The Omni OD is like a year or 2 old.
It's a throwback for sure. Yeah.
Back when it was Magic Community, right, on Repel.
Yeah.
Do you think this signals that they might outrun IO as a carry?
I don't think they can run it as a support right now. They have no stuns besides like Casket. And if there's like BKBs going, this OD is gonna do nothing.
Yep.
And so they need this like support that either has some short cooldown on stuns. Maybe they can even run like a Lion 4 or something along these lines.
And I don't usually see Secret. Like they're the team that popularized Enigma. Like, you know, Yapsor is 28-2. The team's 28-2 on the year. And you look at this, you have nothing against BKBs. Absolutely nothing. So their last pick's gonna have to be able to, I assume, do some kind of physical damage. Otherwise, like really Wisp OD as your 1 and 2, that's very ambitious.
Like the Wisp can turn into like physical at once 25, but before 25, you're mostly about balls. So your Ags tethering to a core with your heart, so he can hit high ground, but what core do you tether?
Yeah, and look at Liquid's lineup. That's not a draft